Hey guys, today we are going to look at writing systems of equations from word problems. We're going to answer the question, how do I write and solve a system of equations from word problems? So we're going to follow these steps below to write and solve systems of equations from word problems. If we are stuck, it can be helpful to ask yourself the listed questions in each step. So the first thing that we need to do is define our variables. We're going to ask ourselves, what is the question asking you to find? Usually there's going to be two things that we will define for x and for y. Then once we have the variables for x and y, we will be able to write the equations. It's helpful to ask yourself when you're writing the equations, what are the two pieces of information or the two situations? And then we will solve the system, and it's best to ask yourself what is the best method to solve this particular system, either substitution or elimination. So let's look at this first question. Remember, we want to define the variables first. We want to think about what is the question asking us to find. It says one number is 17 more than 3 times another. The sum of the two numbers is 41. Find the numbers. So it's asking us to find two numbers here. So I'm going to let x be the first number, and y will be the second number. Okay, now we want to write our equation. So we want to think about the two things that are going on. It says one number is 17 more than 3 times another. So one number is, I'll just let that be x equals, means equals, 17 more than 3 times another. So 17 more than means I'm going to add 17, and then 3 times the number would be 3y. So there's the first equation, x equals 3y plus 17. And then it says the sum of the two numbers is 41. So that just means if I add them together, it equals 41. Okay, so I defined my variables, I wrote the system, now I need to solve the system. So we want to decide if substitution or elimination is better. Substitution would definitely be the easiest one here in my opinion, because this says x equals 3y plus 17, so I can replace x in this bottom equation with 3y plus 17. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Instead of x, I'll put 3y plus 17, and then plus y equals 41. And now I'm going to solve this system by combining like terms, and I get 4y plus 17 equals 41. I'm going to subtract 17, and 41 minus 17 is 24, so I get 4y equals 24. And then I would divide by 4, and I get that y equals 6. So there's one of the numbers, it is 6. Now I'm going to substitute it back into the top equation to find x. So to find x, I will replace y with 6. So I'll do 3 times 6 plus 17. And I'm just going to put that expression into the calculator since I have it pulled up. So 3 times 6 plus 17 is 35. So x equals 35. So the question was, what are the two numbers? They are 35 and 6. And that makes sense because one of the questions said the sum of the two numbers is 41, and 35 plus 6 is 41. All right, let's look at number 2. Raj has $7.15 in dimes and nickels. He has a total of 91 coins. How many dimes and nickels does he have? So the first thing that I want to do is define what x and y represent. So let's think about the two things in this problem. It is dimes and nickels. They're asking us to find out how many dimes and nickels. So I'm going to let x be the number of dimes, and y be the number of nickels. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can write my system. So it says he has $7.15 in dimes and nickels. So x is the number of dimes. We need a cost equation. A dime is 10 cents. So I'm going to put 0.10x plus, nickels are 5 cents, so 0.05y and the cost of them is $7.15. And then the coins in total is 91. So the number of dimes and the number of nickels is 91. So there is our system. We could solve this with substitution or elimination. Either of them would work well here. Since the variables are lined up, I'm going to go ahead and use substitution though. So I'm just going to solve this bottom equation for x. So I'm going to subtract y, and I get x equals negative y plus 91. Equals negative y plus 91. I'm going to replace x in the top equation with negative y plus 91. So it'll be 0.10 times, instead of x, negative y plus 91 plus 0.05y equals 7.15. Okay, now we're going to distribute, and I get negative 0.10y, and negative 0.10 times 91 is negative 0.9, or positive 0.91, 9.1, and then plus 0.05y equals 7.15. Now I'm going to combine like terms. Negative 0.10y plus 0.05y is negative 0.05y. And then plus 9.1 equals 7.15. And then I'm going to subtract 9.1. And I get negative 0.05y equals 7.15 minus 9.1 is negative 1.95. And then I'm going to divide by negative 0.05. And y equals, divided by negative 0.05, it equals 39. So y was the number of nickels. So that means that there are 39 nickels. Now I just need to figure out how many dimes there are. So y is 39. So I will replace y in the rearranged equation with 39. So it'll be x equals, I'm going to replace negative y with negative 39 plus 91. So x equals negative 39 plus 91 is 52. So there are 52 dimes and 39 nickels. Let's look at number 3. It says, at the book fair, Fia bought 3 erasers and 5 pencils for $7.55. Stephanie bought 6 erasers and 12 pencils for $17.40. How much does an eraser and pencil cost? So there it's kind of telling us our 2 variables. We're trying to determine the cost of erasers and pencils. So x will be the cost of an eraser, and y will be the cost of a pencil. And then I have an equation for Fia and an equation for Stephanie. So let's start with Fia's. It says she bought 3 erasers, so that's going to be 3x, and 5 pencils, so that's going to be 5y, for $7.55. So Fia's equation is going to be 3x plus 5y equals $7.55. Okay, now let's write one for Stephanie. It says Stephanie bought 6 erasers, so that's going to be 6x, and 12 pencils, so 12y, for $17.40. So that'll be 6x plus 12y equals $17.40. Okay, now I need to decide the best method to solve this system. Substitution would probably be a little bit difficult here because there's not a variable that would be easy to isolate. I can tell that these x's will be fairly simple to isolate though. If I just multiply this top equation by -2, then my x's will eliminate. So I'm going to rewrite the top equation. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times 5y is negative 10y. And then negative 2 times 755 is negative 15.10. And then the bottom equation will remain 16x plus 12y equals 1740. And now I can combine those and the x's will eliminate. Negative 10 plus 12y is 2y. And let's figure out what negative 1510 plus 1740 is. It is 230. And then all I have to do is divide by 2. And I get y equals 115. So y was the pencil, so a pencil cost $1.15. Now I need to figure out the cost of an eraser. So I'm going to plug in, I'm just going to use that original top equation, 115 for y in that original top equation. So it'll be 3x plus 5 times I found y, it was 115, equals 755. So now let me do 5 times 115, get 575, so 3x plus 575 equals 755. And then I'm going to subtract 575 from both sides. And I get 3x equals 755 minus 575, 1.8. And then I'm going to divide by 3. And I get x equals 1.8 divided by 3 is 0.6. So erasers were 60 cents and pencils were $1.15. So erasers, 60 cents, and the pencils were $1.15. That's why it's important that you define your variables so that at the end you know what the x and the y meant in your system. Okay, let's look at 4. It says the perimeter of a rectangular rug in EmmaRose's room is 36 feet. One side is 2 feet longer than the other side. Find the dimensions of the rug. So we are talking about the dimensions here, the side lengths of the rug. So I'm going to let x be side 1 and y be side 2. Basically the length and the width of this rectangular rug. Okay, and it says the perimeter of the rug is 36 feet. We have a formula for perimeter. It is 2 times the length, or 2 times the side length, plus 2 times the other side length equals the perimeter. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width equals the perimeter. So let's plug in what we have for that. 2, our length is x, plus 2 times the width is y, equals, they told us the perimeter is 36. Then it says one side is 2 feet longer than the other side. So we'll let one side be x, is the equal sign, 2 feet longer than the other side. So that means I would take that side length and add 2. So there's our one side, and it is 2 feet longer than the other one. So now I just need to solve this system. And to me, it looks like substitution would be a good option here because x equals y plus 2. So I'm just going to replace x in the top equation with y plus 2. So it'll be 2 times y plus 2 plus 2y equals 36. So 2y plus 4 plus 2y equals 36. So 2y plus 2y is 4y. 4y plus 4 equals 36. And then we're going to subtract 4. And we get 4y equals 32. And then we'll divide by 4. And we get y equals 8. So one of the side lengths is 8. I just need to find the other side length now, which I can do with this equation x equals y plus 2. I know that y is 8. So to find x, I will do 8 plus 2, so that means x is 10. So my two side lengths are 10 and 8. So 10 feet by 8 feet for the rug. Okay, let's look at number 5. Price and Ben bought a 90-minute phone card to call their friend in Australia. Price used 4 times as many minutes as Ben. How many minutes did they each use? So let's think about what x and y are going to represent. We're talking about how many minutes that Price and Ben used. So we will let x be Price's minutes and y be Ben's minutes. So together they bought 90 minutes. So x plus y equals 90. Together they're going to use 90 minutes. Then it says Price used 4 times as many minutes as Ben. So Price is x and he used 4 times whatever Ben used. So there are the two equations for our system. Now we just need to solve it. I think substitution will be the best bet here because x equals 4y. So I can just replace x in the top equation with 4y. So that'll be 4y plus y equals 90. 4y plus y is 5y, so 5y equals 90. And then I would divide by 5. And I get y equals 18. So Ben used 18 minutes. Now I just need to figure out how many minutes Price used. So I'm going to replace y with 18. So it'll be x equals 4 times 18. So 4 times 18 is 72. So x equals 72. So now I have the number of minutes that Price used. It was 72 and Ben used 18. All right, last one. Nikko and Addi bought fruit at the farmer's market. Nikko bought 17 apples and 12 oranges for $10.44. Addi bought 3 apples and 4 oranges for $2.84. What is the cost of each apple and orange? So the question is telling us what to use for the variables. We are talking about the cost of each apple and orange. So I'm going to let x be the cost of an apple. And y be the cost of an orange. And now I can write my two equations. Nikko bought 17 apples, so 17x, and 12 oranges, so 12y for $10.44. So that would be 17x plus 12y equals $10.44. And then Addi bought 3 apples, so 3x, and 4 oranges, so 4y for $2.84. So Addi's is 3x plus 4y equals 284. All right, now I just need to solve this system. We could use substitution, that always works. However, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get any of those variables isolated. These y's look like they'd be easy to isolate or to eliminate. All I would need to do is multiply this bottom equation by -3. So let's rewrite out that top equation. 17x plus 12y equals 1044. And then I'm going to distribute a -3 to the bottom equation. So -3 times 3x is -9x. -3 times -4y is -12y. And then let's figure out what negative 3 times 284 is. It is negative 8.52. Okay, now I can combine these together. 17x plus negative 9x is 8x. 12y plus negative 12y eliminates, and then 1044 plus negative 852 is 192. And then I'm going to divide by 8, and I get 24 cents. So X was the cost of an apple. So an apple costs 24 cents. Now I need to determine the cost of an orange. I need to solve for y. So I'm going to use the bottom equation, and I'm going to replace x with 24 cents, and then I'll solve for y. So it'll be 3 times 0.24, since that was x, plus 4y equals 284. So let's do 3 times 0.24. We get 0.72 plus 4y equals 284. And then I'm going to subtract 0.72. And I get 4y equals 284 minus 0.72 is 212. And then divide by 4, and we get y equals 53 cents. So I have the cost of an apple, it was 24 cents, and the cost of an orange, it was 53 cents.